Welcome back, writers. Today for shared writing, the first thing that I want to do is I want to review those 3 important things that our writing has to have in them. And that's what our last shared writing video was about from last week. So I just want to quick review those 3 things, and then we're going to write about something new today. Okay? So the first thing to remember is that we need to begin our sentence with an uppercase letter. So anytime the first letter of the first word of our sentence has to be uppercase. Okay, so that's the first thing to remember. The second thing is to put spaces in between our words. So in my sentence here, I have a space in between the first and the second word, and a space in between the second and the third word. So we have to put spaces in between our words. Otherwise, it would be really hard to read our sentence. And then the third thing we want to remember when we write is to end a sentence with a punctuation mark. So punctuation mark is what goes at the end of the sentence, and it lets the reader know that the sentence is finished. So the first punctuation mark that we've talked about is called the polka dot period. So polka dot period looks just like a big polka dot, and I just circled it to show you that it's at the end of my sentence, so I know that my sentence is finished. Okay? So those are the 3 things that your teacher is going to be reminding you of when we come back into the classroom too. And then as you start writing, you're going to remember these things and put them in your own writing. But first, I am just sharing with you my writing so you can see how I do it, okay? So, Mr. Miller is reading a poem to you today for shared reading called Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I'm sure a lot of you already know that poem. So, my writing today is kind of going to be about that poem. So, I already know the poem, and I'm sure you do too, and after listening to him read it, you probably remember it even more. So I'm going to flip to a new piece of paper. So I have a clean piece of paper to write on. And remember, this is the top of my paper. This is the bottom of my paper. And I want to remember that I always start to write on the left and work my way to the right. Okay? I don't want to start my writing here. I don't want to start my writing here. My writing always starts at the left. And since this is the top of my paper, I would probably start writing right up in here. Maybe not right at the top, but around the top up here. Okay? So, I am going to share with you what I like best about the poem Mary Had a Little Lamb. And if we were in class, myself or your teacher would call on a few students and say, what is your favorite part of Mary Had a Little Lamb? So my favorite part is that the poem rhymes. There are a lot of rhyming words in Mary Had a Little Lamb. So that's why I like it. So I'm going to write that. Mrs. Nordhof likes that the poem rhymes. So, how about we say the sentence together and then we clap and find out how many words are in it. Okay? Because we've been doing that in our phonemic awareness videos. So maybe you could help me with that right now. Mrs. Nordhof likes that the poem rhymes. So Mrs. Nordhof likes that the poem rhymes. 5, 6, 7 words I have to write. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to start at the top on the left. And my name starts with the What letter makes the sound? Oh, I hope you said M. So uppercase It's the first letter of the first word in my sentence, but it's also part of my name, so it has to be uppercase if it's a name. Nordhof. N. N, uppercase, because this is still part of my name. All right, and I did put a space in between Mrs. and Nordhof. Mrs. Nordhof likes. So I'm going to put that finger space. Remember, I need that space in between my words. Likes. What beginning sound do you hear at the beginning of likes? L. L. I'm going to try and fit my next word in there. Likes that. So I have a finger space. I'm going to squeeze it in there. Now, I got to the end of my paper. Now, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to sweep it down back to the left. Just like that. I'm going to go right under the first part of my sentence. Likes that the new word, finger space, poem. What do you hear at the beginning of the word poem? P, 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 P. Poem. My next word, rhymes. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word rhymes? What letter is that? R. All right, Mrs. Nordhof likes that the poem rhymes. If my sentence is done, which I have all of my words, what goes at the end? How do I show you that my sentence is done and I don't have any more to write? I hope you said polka dot period at home. I can't hear you, but I'm hoping that that's what you said. If my sentence is done, there we go. I have an uppercase letter at the beginning of my sentence. I have finger spacing in between my words. And I have a polka dot period at the end. So I got all of those three things that I've been reminding you about to do. So thank you for watching and making sure that I remembered those. So I will see you next time.